Welcome back to In the Can. Director Tiffany Shlain is here to talk about her film Connected, an autobiography about love, death, and technology.
So we made that word up. So I
was going to say,
it was a deliberate. Well, it's deliberate. The film's a lot about technology, and so in this day and age with blogs, so it has a lot of humor in it. Right. So autobiography was a created word.
Well, and it's fitting because everything in the internet is kind of, it's organic and it's changing and people are making stuff up, so it's perfect.
Exactly. It is our own little word that we're putting out into the world.
I love it.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling being here again? I mean, I feel great. You're a veteran.
Yeah, I've had 2 films here before, The Tribe and Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness, and having this feature in competition, Connected, I just feel great. And we actually have another short that's playing here too called Yelp with Apologies to Allen Ginsberg's Howl. So to have these 2 films here is just a total honor, and I love Sundance for a filmmaker, and I live in a city where there aren't tons of filmmakers, so to come to Sundance and talk with other directors and go to panels and watch other films and be with people that know what it's like to make a feature film and how hard that is pretty great to talk to them. Yeah.
And you are the only director here with 2 films this year.
Yeah.
So that's quite an honor.
Yeah.
You've been busy then.
Yeah, can't you tell from the bags? Yeah, I've been busy,
really
but I'm ready to really enjoy it. I am here with my whole film crew, and we're really excited to be here, share the film with the world.
Well, this film, when I was doing the research about it, I was thinking, this is a huge, broad subject.
Yeah.
Boiling this down and making it into a film looked extremely complicated.
Yeah, I mean, the film looks at what does it mean to be connected in the 21st century. From every,
it's a broad question.
Yeah, it's pretty, and from every aspect you could think, technologically, but how issues are related, how we're emotionally connected, how, like the environment is interrelated to population, which is connected to women's rights, basically how everything affects each other. So we approached connectedness from a 360-degree angle, and then it also has kind of a personal narrative within it too. So we use a lot of original animation, a lot of archival and stock images, hardly any original shooting, and it really weaves this personal story and then this bigger story about our world today and where I think all this technology is taking us and where we're potentially going. And
you have a technology background and a filmmaking background, obviously, so this is kind of the perfect world, but what was the inspiration for the film?
Well, I feel like I, along with so many people, we're moving so quickly with all these technological tools, and it feels like there hasn't been a moment to stop and kind of think, these tools are changing the way we live, and what's the history of our connectedness, and where do we want to go? I mean, there's so much potential with all this technology, but there's also a lot of pitfalls about being present with people we love, and so if we could just stop and think about that more. And I was increasingly interested, a lot of people are talking about the environment, which is so wonderful, but it just didn't seem like there was a larger conversation about how the environment was connected to so many other things. So my goal was really to try to put my arms around this big subject in a creative way with humor and not make it too heavy so that people would be open to it. In all of my documentaries, I try to use humor. And also, I wanted to show you, we always make discussion kits that go with our film. So we have this discussion kit that's got a book that goes with the film. It'll come with the DVD and conversation cards. So this becomes like a whole evening in a box where you can watch the movie with your friends at home and further discuss it. And our real goal is to trigger a global conversation about interdependence and connectedness in the 21st century. So people can go to our website. If they can't see the film at Sundance, they can sign up and learn about future screenings, learn about our discussion kit. We're launching a mobile phone app that allows you to carry ideas from the movie out into your real life. So our goal is really to trigger a conversation. That's our goal with the project.
I think it's, when I was reading it all about, the film, I thought she's not only a filmmaker, but an educator, because you're really trying to start a conversation, and this is speaking to that.
In some ways, the film is the trigger for the conversation, and then we're going to provide you with all these tools, some tactical, some on the internet, some in theaters, that'll let you really take that idea and unpack it for your own life. And the mobile phone app will allow you to, scan a barcode on a product and say, does that company support my political beliefs? What's the ripple effect of all my purchases? So there's real practical things that we want people to think about, and then there's just a larger discussion about being conscious with technology, being present with the people, and so I mean, our goals are both kind of very practical and small, and then also bigger and big picture ideas about where we're headed.
Well, without further ado, I think we have a clip ready.
Okay, great.
Do you know what we're going to... Is this the trailer?
No, it's not the trailer. I think we're going to show a clip from the film. The film kind of goes between me narrating it and,
okay.
a narrator.
Okay.
So this is, I believe, the narrator giving a summary of Western civilization.
Okay, let's take a look
couple minutes
at Connected.
In the beginning, the invention of the alphabet rewired the human brain to divide everything into isolated parts, which helped human beings to understand the world better. This approach led to great progress, which eventually accelerated until it threatened to consume them. Today, the human species is at a crossroads. There are more humans on the planet than ever before, and they are more connected than ever before. If we can harness the potential of all our minds, we can beat the odds. We have to. The world is only going to become more and more interdependent. Like a beehive, every bee contributes to the survival of its colony. No bee can survive on its own. No human can survive on its own either. Our survival depends on us connecting to one another.
That was a sneak peek of the film Connected, an autobiography of love, about love, death, and technology. So in that clip, we didn't see the personal story that you were talking about,
right.
but I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I think the point is with these cards, you're trying to make people relate to their life day to day, and that's what you did in the film, which I think is incredible.
Point. Yeah. It's exactly right, because in the end, I was making this film, it was this big idea film, and then something very intense happened in my own personal life, and it kind of forced me to rethink everything I thought I knew about connectedness, because it was affecting, I was co-writing the film with my father, and something happened that really forced me to rethink connectedness emotionally. So everybody has to start with themselves, you know, how they're affected to their family, to their community, and then the world. You're working your way outward. So this kit definitely has a lot of questions to hopefully have you trigger that thought process. And I certainly did it in the film. The film is about 50% my personal story.
Oh, really?
And 50% the story of Western civilization. I say that, it sounds so big, but done with a lot of tongue-in-cheek, but also probing some bigger ideas about our world and where we're headed.
Great. So what are we going to see next from you? Because I'm sure you're already working on something else.
Well, you know, Hitchcock used to say, you know, a film's made 3 times: when you write it, when you edit, and when you when you write it, when you shoot it, and when you edit it. But today, with all these kind of new tools with technology, I think the
just keep reinventing itself.
Exactly. The fourth way is to distribute it. So I'm really excited about, you know, getting this kit out into the world, taking the film around the world. And then we're working with the Bezos Family Foundation on 4 really exciting viral web videos about important issues of our day. So we want to release these to the world and let them available to educators, to the public, to nonprofits, to trigger discussion about important ideas.
Well, I know Sundance is honored to have you here and launching this big project.
Thank you.
And thank you. We're honored to have you here on In the Can, so thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we will be back with more In the Can right after this, so stay put.